Okay, we are moving to the second part of our today's meeting and our trip, of course, because we are still on a trip. And as we already mentioned, we'll have evaluation of the first speech. So there will be evaluation of Julian's speech or Julian, depending again which language you'll use, from Brian. Brian is from Chiang Toastmaster Club from Thailand. So big applause, and the stage is yours.
Before starting, Brian, just to confirm to everyone, normally the standard evaluation is that 2 to 3 minutes, but this time we will do it 3 to 4 minutes, okay? So every evaluation will be between 3 and 4 minutes. So thank you very much, and now the floor is yours, Brian.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you, Timer, for that additional time. At the Copacabana. That Copacabana is a great song, and that was a great speech, Julian. He brought the song to life with, first, great storytelling. He started with a very captivating story, and from that first note, it kept me glued on him until he ended. He delivered it with a good pace. Easy to understand, very easy to follow, and he was very engaged with the audience amidst the online scenario. And I thought he was also a good actor. Would you agree with me? Now, second, he used purposeful body language, like as tall as, with the snaps, dive, with the dancing. He looked very, very confident. And those body language were effective and actually enhanced the speech. It was not overdone, actually. Rather, I thought it was a perfect blend on his spacing and his delivery. And third, he looked very comfortable on camera. And he had a very good gesture on the screen, just with a proper angle, so we can actually see his body movements clearly, and his gestures didn't actually get out of the screen. It was well rehearsed, I thought, and you looked very confident on camera as well. Now, to make the speech better, I thought the delivery was perfect. Just a little add-on maybe on the narrative, on a little geographical background. Maybe you could have included flew 7,000 miles across the sea to reach Manhattan. So that way it could give us a better perspective. Now, I think Julian seems to be an advanced speaker. Now, my challenge for you is to include a takeaway on the story. What lesson or inspiration will my audience get from the story? And what do I want them to realize and think and bring home after listening to me? And emphasize on that as well on the latter part of the speech. So you build that up, build a point, build the essential theme, and then emphasize it on your conclusion. And that way it could have made a stronger impact on the listeners. Actually, Julian, I learned a lot from that speech, and I was very inspired on how you delivered the story, and I wanted to be the same, a great storyteller, the same as you. So overall, it was delivered with great professionalism, used purposeful body gestures, and very comfortable and very confident on the camera. Just add a little geographical information, and to make the speech better, I challenged Julian to consider including a takeaway from that speech. It was a great pleasure listening to you, and I hope I get the chance to hear you speak once again and to actually see you sing and dance on stage. Back to you, my Madam Toastmaster.
Copacabana. Thank you very much, Brian, for your evaluation. And we are all learning by feedback. So just to give you a bit more feedback, because it's not only the lesson for a speaker, we'll invite now to the stage Bogdan Aldea from the Leadership Club and from Poland. And he will be evaluating Michael Vargas. Big applause.
Thank you. I hope everyone can hear me well. And Michael, thank you for your speech. And I have to say thank you also to your wife, because I can see that you have her support. So thank you to both of you. I really enjoy your speech, and I think everyone here enjoyed it. And I like the way you started. You started from a small age and you carry on till adult life. And in this way, you resonate with the audience. And for me, it had a bigger impact because I actually have a 1-year-old daughter, which this is how she communicated. And only by bringing one sentence, which maybe for some people they don't have any effect, but for those which they have, you actually grab their attention, and that means you will not lose their attention till the end. And that is really, really great. You also had a great voice. You look really, really confident. And there are few things to make your speech great. One is to be confident, yes, then to resonate with the audience, 2 things which you're done. And then you can bring statistics or studies, and this is what you also bring. So you had 3 key points which actually make your speech really, really valuable. You also bring numbers, and that show that you know what you're talking about. One thing about when you bring numbers is really, really great to put a name behind numbers or to say who did it. You said studies, and if you put a name or a university or somewhere where it was published or a website, that is bringing a real values. Because if you don't bring it, somebody might say, really? Are you sure that is like that? Are you sure that you read the study as well? But when you bring the name of the person who put it, that show that you know what you're talking about, and it's not only you who's doing, and that means somebody else can go and do more checking. But when you do only studies, people, they don't know where to go further if they are interested. So this is something which you can add to the speech. And something which I really, really liked, I think the most thing which I liked from your speech was the fact that you interacted with the audience. You include them in your speech. When you said that 18-year-old person, you actually mentioned the person from this audience, which is around that age. And that showed that you pay attention to the audience before you start speaking. And that means you show an example of a person. That means, again, you pointed the audience to the right place, and that you can make everyone can check. And there are a few things which I would like you to consider for the next speech. And one is you move a lot your hands, and you didn't move them on the camera. You move them below the camera, and only you bring them up and here. And the fact that the hands were moving in the camera and outside, that have a distraction effect. If you will keep them all the time, for example here, and then you will keep moving, people will kind of get used to it. Oh, that corner is for movement, yes, and they can focus. But if you do this, it's getting more distracted. Something else which you might want to consider is that you stop after you reach the green light, the green sign. That's what it's saying, that you have 2 more minutes to give more things on your speech. Or, which I think is the case in your speech, is that you were speaking a bit too fast. So you have to be mindful of that. So try to be a bit more on tone, because you had also, as I mentioned, quite few statistics. So you should give a bit of a break for people to enjoy. And just to sum up, great story, great presentation, great interaction with people. And only one thing to consider is to speak a bit slower. Madam Toastmaster?
Okay. Thank you very much for evaluation. And this is also something reminding about the camera range, right? Okay, thank you very much. We are moving for the next evaluation. The next evaluation will be from Lu Rodrigues, who is from Carioca Toastmaster Club from Brazil. So we are now moving to the different country, and Lu will have a pleasure to evaluate Federico Navarrete. So big applause for Lu.
Thank you so much, Ella. Hi, everyone. This is Luis Rodrigues. I'm speaking from Carioca, Toastmasters, Brazil. And today I am evaluating Federico. Well, I'd like to begin by saying that I find it very difficult to evaluate someone that I've never seen speaking before. And this also presents us evaluators a challenge, right? That said, I'd like to say that I was very impressed with the fact that Federico was very prepared. So for example, he reserved some space. His wall was a white wall, and then he used some clothes to contrast with the wall. So he was very prepared. He spoke for 12 minutes, and I didn't catch any crutch words or like A words or filler words. So I think he was very prepared for this today. Let me see. The emotion on his speech was very clear. We could see it when he said some things like the amber eyes, and he had this serious tone to tell his story. He had great storytelling as well, great intonation, like when he said, I woke up and I didn't know who I was. So he was very emotional on his speech because he wanted to tell us a spooky story, but also deliver a message to us that is, well, do not do bad things in your life, otherwise you might end up haunted by the ghosts from the past and from the bad behaviors you had from your past. So I thought that was a great message. When he also said, the twin looked at me and he turned to one of his sides, you could see his body language was very well done with his speech, and he could show us what he was actually thinking and feeling, and we could feel it as well with him. One other thing I would like to point out is, so the message the story brings and things for improvement. So for example, the first one, and this is funny because I am known in my club for not obeying the time at all. I speak too much all the time, always. And time management is very important. So you spoke for 12 minutes, which is like 4 minutes more than the maximum you had. And although the story was very entertaining, you took too much of the time. So my challenge to you, Federico, is for the next time I'd like to see you deliver this speech again, and within the time that you have. So my challenge to you is shorten this speech and deliver it again. And like I said, it's very hard to evaluate someone we don't know, we've never seen speaking before. That said, I invite you to participate in one of Carioca's meetings and leave the speech, or maybe invite me to one of your meetings and I'll go there to see you speak again. Thank you so much. One extra thing, as I'm about to finish my evaluation, we also didn't know when you finished the story. So maybe saying thank you, and of course delivering the word back to the Toastmaster of the day would have been easier to understand that the story was over. And this is what I'm doing now, delivering this the word back to Ella, our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Lou, or Luis, as you prefer to say. And you're saying that it was challenging to evaluate somebody that you see the first time in your life. And this is what we Toastmasters do, right? We are accepting all the challenges. Ask Toastmaster, he or she will do whatever is needed. Thank you very much for that. We are moving to next evaluation. The next evaluation will be from Ken. From Toastmasters and Español from US, and the evaluation will be for Artur Geronimo. So welcome to the stage, Ken, and let's enjoy.
Well, thank you. It's a great pleasure to evaluate Artur's speech. I love the speech for several reasons. Number one, it was really well organized. Beginning with the opening, he asked a question, asking people about their passions. And I think this really brings people in. anytime you ask a question opening, it brings the audience in, but when you ask about their passions, it really brings people in. So I think all of us right away started thinking about our passions and being connected to the speech. And right down to the conclusion, he brings back the question of what are your stickers? Don't stop pasting your stickers. So he ties it up with has a strong opening and a strong conclusion. So I always love that in the speech. He goes on to make several points. And the first point he makes is an anecdote about his father. His father was passionate about football. And he shows an old photo, and I love this. And his father actually died on the football pitch. So it's a very touching anecdote. I think one of the strongest things you can do in any speech is to bring in a personal anecdote. It's much stronger even than quoting something from a book or a study. So I love that anecdote. In addition, I love the visuals. He had great use of the visuals in the speech. An old picture of his father on the football team, and a picture of a trash can with lots of stickers on it. These are things you can't get anywhere from stock photos. You really had a lot of very personal types of visuals in there. The speech also had a strong message. It brought through this strong message of don't give up your passions. Keep posting your stickers. And this was the message throughout. So it was the things I really liked about the speech, the strong organization with a strong opening and conclusion, very excellent visuals, and a strong message in the speech. I would say in terms of improvements, I love the speech. I think there was in the presentation of the speech, there was some hesitation in the speaking and some hesitation perhaps in the presentation of the visuals. And the cure for this is practice, practice, practice. I love the speech. And I think the speech can be improved and future speeches can be improved just with the practice on the presentation of the visuals and the practice on the fluidity. But I loved it all when the organization, the strong message, the excellent personal anecdotes, and the excellent visuals. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the evaluation. Yeah, the stickers, they have their power, right? Thank you very much for evaluation, Ken. And now we are moving to Gabriela, and next evaluation. Gabriela is from Noris Toastmasters, Nuremberg, from Germany club, and she will be evaluating Jaro. And please welcome to the stage, the virtual one, of course.
Dear fellow Toastmasters from all around the world, especially dear Joao, I can definitely tell you're passionate about electric guitars. That show off through your speech. That is amazing. I think that's the most important thing, that you talk about something you like. From the very beginning in your opening, you told us about your purpose, what you wanted to do. You want to tell the history and impact of the guitar. Check. Regarding the structure, flawless. Easy chronological one from the 1920s to the 1930s until Les Paul came up with this idea. I found it easy to follow. On the content, I have to say I like the words you used, your vocabulary. For example, you mentioned when people were disgusted, it was an awful sound. Because we are especially talking through video, it's really important that now with your words you show us what people were experiencing back then. You paint an image in our minds. I thought you really did that excellent. What or how can you have an even bigger impact with your speech? And that brings me to one important point. You can even narrow more the subject. You know it, and you wanted to talk about it, and I felt you had this idea to really speak and go on, but it's too much. So impact could be a bit too much. Why don't you just tell us, I'm going to tell you about the humble beginnings of the electric guitar. And so now we know, oh, he's talking from early blues, when the guitar was a follower, to when the guitar started to be a lead. So try to frame it that way so you can perfectly fit in the 5 to 7 minutes, and allows you time to go deep into those topics. You can tell us with even more detail, what was Les Paul doing? What was his problems with Fender, with Gibson? So we can really know that. I know those names, but actually until now that you told the story, it was like, so that is how those names became famous. Another point to have a big impact, especially through video, we practice it at clubs, but it's completely different on an online environment, body language. I would suggest you to take 1 or 2 steps away from the camera and use it. For example, you had this phrase, the crowd went through the roof, mean they went crazy. Literally show us, the crowd went crazy, they went through the roof. Show us that passion that you already have it. Another example, you show us your guitars, probably your babies, your darlings. Maybe you can step away and hold it even better. Show us how much you love them. Tell us, caress them and say, look at this. You show us, you wanted to show us the angle. Put it a little bit closer so we can really appreciate and not just show, transmit us and say, oh, this is the beauty of a Fender, this is the beauty of a Gibson, so we can really appreciate this. All in all, you have really great bases, explain us the purpose, flawless structure, really good vocabulary. To create a bigger impact, show us a bit more your body language with the use of the camera. That means practice. And narrow down the subject so you can definitely go deep into what you want us to know between 5 to 7 minutes. Ella?
Thank you, Gabi, and thank you for taking care about such, you would say, small, teeny, tiny detail, but still making important about the camera and cooperation with camera. All right, so thank you very much for that, and also sharing your evaluation and feedback. We'll be moving to Ruslan. Ruslan Saleh, she's from Baghdad Toastmaster Club from Iraq, and she will be evaluating Roa Adil. So please welcome to the stage, and of course big applause for you to warm up the public.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. My name is Ruslan. I'm from Baghdad Toastmaster Club. I'm gonna be the evaluator of the lovely Miss Roa. And I had a few notes that I wrote about Roa's speech. So I'm gonna start with the evaluation. Roa, your speech was just like its title, a human without a soul. Your speech was really interesting, and it's like a wake-up call. I think lots of us have the exact problem, but don't even realize that. So for me, it's like a wake-up call. I will try to monitor myself a little bit and try to use the solution you gave in the end of your speech. And also, you were well organized. Your presentation was well organized. Also, the way you gave your presentation, I felt that you worked hard on it, and good job for you, sweetie. So for the first thing that I noticed is your eye contact. Your eye contact was a little bit not on the point. You were looking around. You were talking and looking around. You weren't looking directly to us. And that means that you're kind of nervous, or you're not nervous, but that shows us that you're nervous. When you're not looking at the camera, that feels like you're running away with your eyes. So if you want to look more confident, or you want to make the audience feel that you are more confident, try to look a lot in their eyes, and in this situation in the camera. Maybe it's okay to move around. Sometimes you're talking about something, but try to minimize that and try to look more into the camera's eyes. And personally, I loved your speech content because you started with a personal story, and then you gave us a problem, and with the problem you also gave us a solution. I love a speech with a personal story. That makes me feel that you're trying to talk about something important to you, which is your phone, and you break it, and you now try to find out why you're so sad about a broken phone. Maybe because we are all addicted and we don't know that, and we all have this new disease that this is the first time that I hear this disease from you, which is nomophobic. So thank you for telling us that we are now sick and addicted. And also try to use your vocal variety, because your voice was clear. You were talking perfectly, but I think if you used a whisper, or maybe try to talk a little bit louder, it will make us, like, I don't know, feel more interested. Maybe when you're trying to state a problem, you should say, "Oh, I have a disease," maybe something like that. And for your presentation, as I said, it was well organized, but for me, the presentation is all about pictures, not words, because I saw a lot of slides have lots of information that we are not interested, or we cannot read all of them. So try to use less words when it comes to a presentation and more picture, because picture will make us more interested, and we cannot read all the words. And as I said, your speech was a wake-up call for me. Thank you very much for giving that speech. That's it for me. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for the last but not least evaluation. And we can even do the wave. Just look out that your head will not fly away with the wind, because you know how it is when you are traveling around the world. You never know when the strong will just blow your head. Okay, now we'll be moving to also revealing who was chosen by you as the best speaker and best evaluator. Also, I would like to ask Gerardo if, from your perspective, we still have time for the small, teeny table topics.
Yes, still there are 10 minutes. I would assume that some of you would like to participate, at least to have 3 table topics. How you see? Yes?
Just put the thumb maybe on your, you can put the thumb on your picture like that.
Perfect. So let's make okay, table topics. So we will go and then we will share the final results for all the speeches, okay, for the speakers and evaluations and table topics. So, and for that, actually, because I was watching, and he's a colleague from Wrocław, and he's very recognized Toastmaster here in Poland. We would like to invite him to make a speech, to make a table topics. Cyril, are you okay with that?
Yes, I am.
Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. So I would say this. So as we are traveling around the world, okay, you will be the representative of your tourism country. So you need to sell why you need to go to your country, and that you need to see you need to sell us why we need to go to your country. Yes, 1 to 2 minutes speech. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so 1.
I've got 30 seconds to think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
Friends, as you can see clearly, I hope, I am from Norway. Something tells me you're not buying it. And I'd imagine you're right. Actually, I'm from Southern Africa, specifically Zimbabwe. And I'm going to tell you why exactly you should take some time out to visit Zimbabwe. Of course, I'm going to give you a warning in advance. Zimbabwe is not the paradise that the brochures may make it out to be. There are a few reasons that I said I'm from Norway first, but I won't go into this. Zimbabwe is home to one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Victoria Falls. It's right on the border with Zambia, but don't listen to anybody who says it's in Zambia. No, that's our thing. As well, the one thing that all of my friends love about Zimbabwe is the culture, because hospitality is born into African culture. We believe that our guests should be more comfortable than we are. And so you'll find many people will enjoy the views, they will find it's humorous to travel through the city. But the one thing they can never let go of is how the locals make them feel. For the ladies here, I have to warn you that all the kids will be fascinated by your long hair. They'll be grabbing onto it, hanging from it, swinging like Tarzan. For all the gentlemen, I have to tell you that the young kids cannot have enough selfies with you. But that's just it. The experience of going somewhere else and having a collective group of strangers accept you as family. So yes, visit Zimbabwe for the views, for Victoria Falls, for traveling through the center of the cities, but visit it for Zimbabweans. We love family, and we believe anyone who has blood running through their veins, any human being, can and should be welcomed and treated as family. So to my family, visit Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cyril. And let's pass to another one. We have another visitant that was to be from our leadership club, but he's living now in Denmark. We would like to invite Balit Bulkaf. Are you there? Balit?
Hey guys, here I am.
Yes, hello Balit. So,
hey.
What table topics?
Yeah, like always, but I don't think that I'm gonna get it this time. But I will do my best this time.
Okay, so Balit, we are traveling around the world again. So yeah. This time, we will need you tell us a folkloric dance from your country that you can say why we need to dance, why we need to enjoy it. Like to say, yes, it's the best dance.
All right.
Got music about it, okay?
Okay. So you don't see me on the camera, but you might hear me, and it's my turn now to present it perfectly using the word. So imagine yourself now, you are closing your eyes, dreaming being in the north of Africa. When I say north of Africa, I say Tunisia, the country that is open to the Mediterranean Sea, and it's connected to the African world. So it's the mixture between the Europe world and the African world. So when we are talking about such kind of mixture, imagine if you are dancing on that country. It's a mix of music. It's like the good weather there, and you are having nothing in your feet, just feeling the ground, feeling the energy of Tunisia, feeling the positive vibe of Tunisia, feeling the power of the positive people there. So dancing in the North Africa, especially in Tunisia, it's like a combination of body language. Every Toastmasters know what's body language. When you say dance, it's not just getting drunk to have fun and jumping, following some melodies. It's to express a message. A dance, when you go to Tunisia and you dance, I mean, you explain that we are welcoming all of you. We are the best country that you can visit. We are the country where you dance and feel what's mean really dancing. We are the place there where you enjoy yourself, you feel free, you don't worry, you don't get any judgment. It's the place where you can just be yourself. So not only dancing, to dance you need the music. And when we say Tunisia, we say, I don't know if you can feel what I'm gonna say, but it's really a mixed culture. We say the mix between the Arabic country, which based on the French educational system and colonization and history, and it's open to the Europe world. So just keep your eyes closed now, feel it more, and I give the word to the table topic master. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Wally. Thank you very much. And now it's time for another table topic. So for this, I would like to ask you, please raise your hand and see who would like to participate. Some volunteer, or should I pick again?
I would suggest there is a member from Brazil that he's hiding the camera. It's Fabio.
Fabio,
he would like to participate.
Fabio Sousa, can you hear us? Fabio?
If not, I'll volunteer Sergio.
Okay, he's not there. Let's say Jocelyn, how about you?
I will try the next time.
Yes? Okay.
Next time, I promise.
Next time?
The next time I will try.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Who else? Oh, okay, Sergio. Sergio. Okay, Sergio. I will ask you, we are traveling around the world, and we would like that you can share with us the best movie from your country that you recommend us to see, to watch. The best movie from your country, and why we need to watch it. You are muted.
Hold on. Can you hear me now? I cannot hear you. Hold on.
We were hearing
No,
you.
you have to unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that gives me a little time, but not. If I'm talking about movies from my country, I haven't been there in 40 years. But the one movie that I do recall when I was there that had a very big impact in my life was not technically an American, a Colombian movie, since I'm from Colombia. It was actually an American movie. And that one was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Western by Clint Eastwood. It just brings back a lot of memories because I saw the movie when I was very young. And it was one of my father used to take us to the movies exclusively every Sunday. And I don't know, but it seems that we watched the movie like 20 times because I guess that's the only movie my father liked. And so that it stayed with me until today. And when my kids, which were born in the United States, were ready to watch movies, I introduced them to it. And for some unknown reason, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, and I'm not lying, Clint Eastwood, as he started aging, he started looking more like my father. It's very interesting. Kind of weird, but it is true. And I actually made a drawing of him, and I keep it on my side, reminding me of
not only the movie, but those times that I spent with my father and my brother when we were very young. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And well, my fellow Toastmasters, the time is going, so let's stop here. But in this case, I have prepared a poll for 5 people. But in this case, please consider the participant 1, 2, and 3, and just vote for one of these 3, because I couldn't edit the poll now. But the first, actually, it will be saying participant 1, participant 2, and participant 3. Okay, so we have Cyril from Zimbabwe. We have Balit from Tunisia, and we have Sergio from Colombia. Okay, so when it appeared the poll, please vote for one of them. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect, my fellow Toastmasters. So I close the poll, and thank you very much for your participation. So we are passing for these winners to announce them. But first of all, we would really appreciate all participation from you and all the efforts from all the clubs that we were participating. It was kind of very confusion thing, but at the end we managed to do it, and so really appreciate it for all your efforts. But at the end, the thing is that we were sharing our experience, we were sharing evaluations and learning from each other, learning new things. So I went, but so the first place on the speakers, the speaker, in this case, I would announce that the winner is Julian Hernandez. Julian Hernandez from New Jersey. Julian, bravo.
Thank you, everyone. Gracias, obrigado. Merci. I don't know how to say it in Polish, sorry.
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję.
Or you can say dzięki. It's shorter.
I think it's in German, but I forgot it. Okay, thank you, everybody.
And we are passing for our evaluator, the best evaluator of tonight of this Speakathon Go Global. And it goes for, actually he was winner in table topics last time in our club, in the anniversary. So Brian, best evaluator. So congratulations.
Thank you for the votes. Thanks everyone. Congratulations.
Again, appreciate it for the effort. And it's time for the best table topics. The best table topics is going to Cyril. Cyril, best table topic winner. So
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, my fellow Toastmasters, and again, I hope that you enjoy it.